All right, what more can I shut down? He's not a happy camper right now. Okay. I'm waiting for my computer to stop lagging. Wow. Come on. Okay. Let me see what's going on here. We got some little bit of lag today. I don't know if it's a big problem or not. Let's see what I can do to lighten the load of my computer. It actually looks pretty good from this perspective. Okay. I think we're good, David. Hey, welcome to TDD.Academy. I'm Lancer Kind. And right next to me in this room is solopreneur David Kuntz.
Hi, how are you doing? We're deep into it this time. We've got all kinds of stuff to do here. I just see tasks all over the place down there on the screen. Tasks to do this and tasks to do that. What's up? What's all that about?
Tasks to do. Oh, you're looking at my
execution task.
Wow. You know what, David? I have to fix your our camera because I do not have you properly on the. There's one camera I did not check, and that's the one where your floating head is above the screen, and I am going to fix that right now, and then we will be on. Let's see here. And so while I'm doing this, let me describe to you my fun I had when I upgraded my Android Studio. So David, have you ever upgraded your IDE?
You upgraded your IDE. Wow.
Does that usually go smoothly for you, or is that like is that a big deal to you, or is that like do you expect that to go pretty smoothly and you're just off and running?
Historically, I would say it's pins and needles. On Xcode with Apple stuff, it's been no-brainer, easy as pie.
Wow. All right.
So with Apple's Xcode, it's been no problem. But they have a closed, ecosystem where they know what they're doing. I think it's always a hit and miss with everybody else's ecosystem when you have to work with any old graphics card that somebody might throw out there. How'd it work for you?
Well, I was, I actually asked the other fellow I work with at the day job, I said, hey, what should I not do when I have two updates that are showing up? One's a Kotlin update, and he said, no, don't do that. Other one was the new Arctic Fox update from Android Studio. So a little Arctic Fox, the cute little white ones that are maybe nippy if they're not happy. And I think this one was nippy. And maybe they're usually not so bad, but I did the update, and then afterwards, David, when I ran my unit tests, actually, it was kind of scary in multiple ways. Like first I updated that. They said, oh, you got to update Gradle because you're like on 8. We want to upgrade you to 11. I'm like, well, I hope that goes well. All kinds of weird messages were going on, but eventually things settled down, and then I ran my unit test and nothing happened. I go, what is that all about? I'm not getting compile errors. And so folks, if you're not on Arctic Fox and you're something older, when you upgrade to Arctic Fox, you are going to have to look at your test automation. So this resulted in a Stack Overflow post by yours truly, who was trying to figure out how to make it work. Read a few, learned a little bit, and here, I'll share it with the audience here. Let's see if I can find it. There. Stack Overflow. And Stack Overflow. Heck, let's just search for Arctic Fox. Fox, Android Studio. and unit tests. I think it's JUnit. So the problem is I had to move from JUnit 4, which is what it was stock before that, to JUnit Jupyter. And so that by itself actually sounds like a good thing, right? Like, shouldn't you be able to pop into, shouldn't you ought to be able to maintain your version of JUnit to the latest version. That shouldn't be a big deal, which it kind of wasn't, but it kind of was. So you have to do some fiddling. Here's the biggest change. What happened is now Android Studio uses Gradle to run our unit tests. And so anyways, for those of you who are going to Arctic Fox, you can check out my post, Android Studio Arctic Fox incompatible JUnit question. And then here I answer it later. So, and if you disagree, go give me a new answer. Anyways, what happens is you have to
You voted up your own answer? Is that what you did? You answered your own problem?
Well, if you know an answer, it's good to. So I had to it took me 2 hours. This is a long story short to get my JUnit test running. So basically, that's what I did that day. It wasn't the most productive day, I would say. I had to get my unit test running again. And so the first thing is you have to you have to do some changes in Gradle. And you have to add some new dependencies. So it says JUnit Jupyter Engine 5.7. And then there's this little gem here, David. JUnit Vintage. So the result is when you do all of this to get if you're using RoboElectric, David, it doesn't work with JUnit Jupyter. So although I had it running under JUnit Jupyter, I couldn't get RoboElectric working. And so I go, well, what do I do now? And I had to use JUnit Vintage, which is the JUnit Jupyter's way to allow you to use a JUnit 4 test runner under Jupyter for your legacy tests. So we have legacy tests now.
Oh my gosh, I'm just so confused with all the various names of things. So Jupyter is a version of
It's the JUnit 5 if you want to go with the number. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Thank you. I would have understood 5, but yeah. Jupyter sounded like it was something else.
Like a planet or God.
It's a pretty big planet as I see it. So it's a pretty big deal, right? To go to JUnit 5, and it's 5.7, so they skipped a lot of stuff in between the 4 and the 5.7. I have no idea all that goodness that came along, but
so yeah, folks, if you're going to do that switch, you can. This may be helpful. There will be some other articles that over kind of talk around a few of them, and then I said, screw this. We want to make it simple for the next person who falls into this trap. So I stuck it all there. And when you upgrade Android to this Arctic Fox, it does warn you about it, but it's not enough. You don't know, you're reading it as you're installing it, and you're like, okay. It's scaring me a little bit. It's going to run it in Gradle, but it doesn't tell you how to make it work in Gradle. So yeah. Hang on a second. Let me fix another camera thing. There. Cool. So now, after all of that, let's see if we can run our unit tests. And there's another Stack Overflow article probably on the way as well, because I'm going to ask another question, because there's something I didn't know how to do. So I got our unit test working when I run it from inside the test. I can go to the test now. And I can click on this little button here, the little green arrow. Might be, it's right there where my mouse is. And I can hit tap run. And it'll run the bloody test, which is great.
Oh, that's nice. That's a new trick you're teaching me there.
Oh, a short person is in here to say hi. Hey, short person, what are you doing? Are you here to teach us about test-driven development?
No.
Oh, okay.
Dad, where's Mom?
I can't answer those kinds of questions. That's not about TDD.
Fine.
Oh.
Your green screen's pretty bad, by the way.
My green screen's pretty bad? Why?
I can literally see some of the pixels.
No, look at the other side. Anyways, see you. Oh, a critical short person complained about my green screen. Shut the door on your way out.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, so the test ran, and the good news is also when I heard Gradle, I thought, what are they going to do to me? They're going to spawn a process. It's going to run Gradle. It's going to run the test. That sounds slower than what it was already before. And then I thought they're probably going to lose my test runner. I'm probably going to like look at the output on the console. Thank you,
page.
like all that stuff. But at least the test runner is connected. And but one thing that doesn't work, folks, is if you go to Arctic Fox, this is the next Stack Overflow question. So whoever beats me there, go for it. And maybe if you have an answer for it, put the answer in. Watch this. I'm going to go to app, and this is one of the few IDEs. This one in Eclipse. Come on. I'm getting a little bit. Don't know if that's lag or improper mouse usage, but there we are. Run tests in the whole application. Right? If I pick that, it says no task available. Now, I'm pretty new to Gradle. It's probably saying like, dude, you got to add another Gradle task to make that work. Great. So if you have a suggestion out there, folks on the internets, send me a tweet to AgileThoughts1 on Twitter or LancerKind on Twitter, and let me know because I need to do something here. And otherwise, I'm going to write another Stack Overflow question. How do I get run tests working? And then some guy's going to say like, well, here you go. And that could be you. Yeah. So there we are, David. I spent a couple hours this week on that, which I guess it's only 2 hours, but it was 2 hours. And
Maintaining your
my
tools.
tools. Yes. And it is important, I think, to keep up to date on your test runner. But I'm sad. Robo-Electric. Okay. So the scoop on the Robo-Electric is this. The Robo-Electric, folks who maybe haven't seen the previous episodes, the Robo-Electric tool library allows us to run our unit tests locally on the machine, not requiring the simulator that simulates the phone. So it runs within our local JVM. And Robo-Electric allows that to happen because it mocks all of the Android library calls so that it won't, give us what reference is missing or something like that. And it does a good job. I'm kind of a little bit of a complainee. It feels a little slow, and I don't know why. But it does a good job on that. It works. But in order to do that, apparently, David, well, see this run with here? Oh, hang on a second. I got to get a transition back on the camera. This run with from Robo-Electric, that's the key point that I'm not sure Jupyter does that the way that Robo-Electric wants it to work. And so Robo-Electric there's some non-public APIs that they used with JUnit 4. This is my interpretation of their that I read about on the internet. And so of course, if you change to JUnit 5 and those, whatever the heck APIs they were using are gone, it won't work right. And Robo-Electric folks back in 2017 said, oh yeah, we'll probably get to that someday. I don't know that I still don't think, as far as I know, they haven't gotten to it. And it's, it's open source, folks, so nobody's getting paid to do this. Or if you are getting paid to do this, go do some of that and tell your company that they need to do this to keep your tests running on Jupyter. That would be cool. All right, so I ran into some legacy issues with Robo-Electric and just a detail, David, just so you know, in case we have to do this. See this org JUnit.test. That annotation is the JUnit 4 annotation. This annotation is the Jupyter annotation. Okay, so this this test is using you're gonna love none of this actually. This test is using the JUnit 4 annotation because it's using the vintage test runner that's provided by Jupyter, and in order for all this to work. On our other test, environment test, which probably didn't exist because I had to build a test to figure out how to get my tests working. I needed a simpler environment without Robo-Electric to figure out what's going on. That one's actually using the Jupyter annotation and it works fine because it doesn't have any Robo-Electric stuff going on in it. It's just like super ultra simple test that runs in 1 millisecond ish time. Because it does basically nothing but see if it
Okay.
works. Get something working. Okay. But yeah, no, I want my run all tests to work someday. So that's a good one, folks. If you want to beat me to it and put it on, ask the question on Stack Overflow and answer it, that'd be awesome. All right, so the tests are all passing, David. Now, off camera, we did some, I and another personage, did some different things, and I probably need to tell you about that.
All right.
Yeah. So you're gonna.
Did you learn some more?
Yes. See this this test here that's marked with a. Folks in the audience probably can't see it because
Yeah.
David's floating head's in the way, but
I see a bar through a circle and a bar. Probably means it's not
yeah, it's
running.
ignored, and that's because I haven't gone back and we were in a hurry, and I haven't maintained this because some of the functionality may not be maintainable. So we changed our strategy on this. So there's going to be some legacy testy cleanup we should do, because in the past. Okay. So when you and I last met, we worked on text changed. And in on text change, we added this implementation. Not exactly this, it's changed since you've seen it. It's gotten a little bit fancier, but I left a bug for us to fix.
Oh, good.
So, but, you may, this is detailed, I don't know if you remember this, but the audience if you looked at the last episode, you'll see that we use an interface to write something to the text box on the view. So if we take a couple steps back, we are doing TDD in the view layer, almost kind of. We have a view layer, and people normally would just stick this code that we're working on in the view layer and then totally make it incredibly hard to unit test, which is a terrible idea. So all along, we've decoupled that, our code under test, which is the SSN text watcher. We decoupled it from the view layer, which is called, what is it called? SSN field. And we decouple it by putting an interface between those two. And that interface's job is to support SSN text watcher calling back to the view layer, which it wants to be decoupled from so we can unit test it, and provide some services so that the SSN text watcher can write to the field, add dashes to it, do things like that. Well, last week, or this week, the week that we're finishing right now, are you on the edge of your seat, David?
I am. I'm
We almost don't need to use that
don't
interface
know
now. So it's possible that interface is going to go away someday soon, because
I'm sorry, what?
What happened is we discovered that if we look at this code, we are calling. Let's see. We should be able to see it right here. Where's the adjustment? SSN adding field, an append. Okay, so notice there's an append here, which last week, folks, on the show, we thought, well, maybe we'll append to this poorly named, we should probably fix that spelling someday, poorly made variable, but it's a character sequence, and character sequence, unfortunately, are read-only. So there's no append to a character sequence, but now we got something called SSN number. How the heck did that get in there? Well, hold on, folks. A couple episodes ago, when David and I first wrote this, we were using a different interface. We were using the, not before, on, oh, maybe it was after. It was after? All right, well, there's our after.
After text.
We were using after text change because I had this lovely little parameter that was an editable type. Very hard to say. Practice this at home in front of the mirror. Editable. So editables are you can write to them. And so we were having fun there.
you can eat
but
them.
then later we moved on to on-text change because we need to know the position of the cursor, and we can't get the position in after text change. If we could get the cursor position from after text change, maybe we didn't need to move to on-text change. So we moved to on-text change, but then we had that read-only. We used the interface to write back to our view layer. But last week, or earlier this week, I was working with somebody else, and we realized, you know what? Why don't we just, because he was like going, well, I don't want this, this interface, blah, blah, blah. And I go, He goes, last time we had this editable. I go, that's true, we did have this editable. And I thought, oh, why don't we just save a reference to editable and use it? And he goes, yeah, let's do that. So that's what we did. So see this function now, it's all it does now is, hey, if I don't have it cached in my class, a reference to editable, I'm going to cache a reference to that editable, and it's called SSN number. And that way, in our on-text change, we can now actually edit directly without going through the interface. So at this moment in time, we may not need the interface, but it's kind of hanging out there in case we discover something else and learn something. All right? Was that helpful?
All right. I think my head just blew up there, but
the good news...
I can follow.
Well, it's okay. It's all just a computer. The computer will keep us honest. So it does it before. When you type something in, it does it before. Like, oh, somebody typed something. Before I write it onto that field, you get to call this thing. And then it writes out, hey, before text change, blah, 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 blah. And then after it calls that, it calls on text change. So when you type in your social security number, that first character click, it comes in here. It sends the character that's going to be put on there, or it's a little bit unclear if it is or going to be. It's I don't know. And it passes it through that read-only guy, and in this method we have reference to our position, so we can tell where our cursor position is, which is important if you start screwing around, like moving the cursor around on the phone. You need to be able to know that when you're trying to decide what to do about dashes. Okay, and then we already had some local class state for is adding dash true, so that we don't call ourselves an infinite number of times. Okay, so while we're here, okay, so did I walk it through all the way? No, there's one more. So on text change does that, and then after text change, it's going to give us an editable. So it sounds like we're lucky. Because when after text change is the first time we get a reference to the editable. Okay, why am I saying we're lucky? Because, David, if we've tried to start with a dash and we wanted to change something on the first button press, we have to come up with a different strategy. Because editable we didn't cache our editable yet. How many characters do you have to type before you have to put a dash in social security number? 3. So if we're prefixing it with a dash, this strategy wouldn't work because we don't have our editable yet. Because it's after text change when you have the editable.
Yeah.
So, we could have done this completely different. We could have said on text change, we could have cached the other parameters, cursor position, number of characters replaced, count of characters added, and then done all of our work in after text change. And maybe that's the right answer, but I don't know the right answer here. I'm just a simple man who's trying to figure out how to make this, this Android thing work, right? And as far as I know, nobody else knows either. They're just like following everybody else's example, and they get it working, and then they shows up on your phone, and everybody's happy enough, right? What is it? The perfect way?
Okay.
I don't know. So. Right now, we are caching editable. In this strategy, it's a good thing that dashes don't show up at the front of a social security number. I mean, nobody can even imagine that. Why would that happen, right? Well, they don't. Good news.
Yeah.
And so that gives us this editable reference so that later on we can muck with it. All right. Okay, cool. So big picture, folks, if you want to, I can't tell you if on, after, before is the best possible way to implement this. Totally honest. But I do know editable was pretty damn handy having, and I do know that having the cursor position is pretty damn handy for having too. So whatever order you choose at home to do, you're going to have to store the things you think are pretty damn handy into your text watcher so that you can use it in the whichever interface you choose to pick. Because in our case, David, we need to edit it and we need cursor position, and that's 2 different bloody interfaces. I don't know why. Why it didn't have them on all of them, but yeah. All right, so what do we have going on? Okay, so I'm going to ask you to coach me through this a little bit, David. So I'm going to reveal my troubles first. My troubles are we have some cleanup to do on test cases because I have some mock objects that are like, oh, you need a spy. Well, because I don't need a spy now, David. I don't need a spy on anything because Why is that? Okay. Because that editable that we stored in SSN Text Watcher, we actually exposed as a class, what's it called? Package protected variable. So we can actually get to it in our unit test. So we don't need to spy on it anymore. We just ask SSN Text Watcher, hey, what's in your editable?
Oh, okay.
So maybe we could clean up some of these tests. Also, there's a lot of copy paste. Cop's going to be pretty friggin' mad at us because there's a lot of copy pasting that's happening here. Like, look, does that look kind of familiar in that range?
Yeah.
Learn delete is a learning test. We should probably delete that one. There's another one. Look, there's another text interface. It happens to be different in this case because it got probably cleaned up because I got tired of looking at some code I wasn't going to use. And this one, I don't know. There might not. Anyways, you can see we're setting up text interfaces all over the place. And yeah. Okay. So there's some cleanup we could do if we want to avoid the cops. And oh yeah, we could delete this thing. I think this is such ancient history. I'm going to delete this now. I don't care. This is a mock. We thought we might using this. We thought we might use this mocking strategy for our unit test to pass in an editable. And I'm pretty sure we're never going to do that. So I'm confident let's just X-nay that baby. Okay.
All right.
And okay, cool. So that's one thing I want to reveal to you. Features we support right now in our unit test is you can type up to 3 numbers and it will add the dash. What we were working on this week when off camera with the other fellow is backspacing, supporting backspace. When you delete the dash, if it's 1, 2, 3 and there's a dash here and you delete the dash, you tell me, David, what should happen if you delete the dash? What would you expect as a user?
As a user, if I hit the backspace key on the dash, I would expect the dash to disappear and the cursor to be right behind the 3rd number.
Okay.
Yeah.
In our case, right or wrong, the expectation when you delete the dash, it deletes the number 2. So every time you get 3 numbers, it always puts the dash back. If you delete the 3rd number, it goes back down to 2.
I could see that happening.
So, and we were working on that, and I think we ran into a bug at that point. So we got probably a bug hanging out to finish that functionality and a little bit of legacy test code. So I suppose I should show you the thing that works just in case something happens and I want you to have full confidence that everything's working.
So,
working as well as it's supposed to be. Let's put it that way.
well, so you guys chose to go from getting the dash and that working to being able to backspace to delete over the dash. And that's interesting because I would have kept going. I wouldn't have worried about delete yet.
I think that would have been the right call.
Knowing that
honestly,
that it might be difficult, but
no, I think so. Honestly, folks, I would agree with David. Is I would have kept building it out because you could actually ship a device that doesn't allow delete, but get you your social security number, right? You could that's potentially shippable. Yeah. I can't explain our thinking at the time. I think it was we're still. In the other context, it's more about the learning, and I think he wanted to see if it'll support something that's a little more harder, because we've already demonstrated we can count letters and put dashes in. I think that's what we're headed towards. Yeah. But yeah, I agree with you. So, come on, phone. Yeah, I think our next show we need to try to get rid of some software because it's running a little slow. Oh, I'm still waiting for target device to come online according to this down here. Interesting. Wow. I'm going to say there might be some possibility after I installed Arctic Fox, I never launched the simulator before. So we might be in for some trouble here. I hope not. What is going on? Maybe I have to turn it on. Power. I hit the power button. I've never had to do this before.
Oh yeah, that's weird. I remember we could we could turn the power on and off in the simulator. it simulates power on and off
So I just hit the button.
without like closing it. Yeah.
I don't know. I think I'm going to relaunch. Yeah, because... Whoops. All right, well, I think I just stopped that. All right, simulator, we'll make it go away. Yeah, because I think I was so happy when I got my unit tests running after spending like 2 hours to do something that I didn't expect to have to spend any time on. And that I probably did not actually launch. I wonder what that is. Anyways, I'll stick to this. Android. Oh, I don't want this to be a show about getting the simulator to work. All right, Gradle building, starting AVD, and okay, that looks interesting. Requesting for cold boot, emulation engine failed. Ooh, that's not good. Hang on a second, I'm going to mute.
So I wonder if I can control Lance's screen. So it looks like we've got a simulated off device.
Okay, I didn't read that closely, so okay, I'll hit the power button.
I think we have a simulated off
Before I hit
device.
the power button,
So
let me just make sure. It says it's waiting for it to come online still.
and
Oh, but
I don't know what come online means, but I would like to turn the power on.
all right. Okay, now that first press probably got me focused. I'm going to push it again, which I think maybe will turn it on.
Yeah, I would love it if it had an indicator, like, you know, a light or
Right?
a screen would flash.
Something.
Or
I can move it.
Or
Okay, is there a menu button that says turn on so I don't have to deal with clicky delays? All right, let me see if I push that. What happens? I get volume. All right, fine. That doesn't really do anything. Can I rotate it? I'm going to play with the simulator.
ooh, you can
Rotate
rotate
it
it.
back. That looks like a rotate back, but didn't. This is what I don't
Yeah.
know about when you work with a simulator. If I click it twice, and it's because you have to like get the focus on it. No, oh, home button.
What's the ... down at the bottom? Does it pull up a menu of things that?
Oh, I can set my metadata.
Oh, you got all
I've never
kinds of
clicked on that
stuff
one.
here. Okay, settings.
I can set my location.
Okay.
Blah blah blah. So, it's my battery. How's my battery? Oh, you get to set your levels in the simulator. Does the Apple simulator let you fiddle with all that?
There's some things behind the back. I've never tried. It's amazing some of the things that it does simulate, though.
All right. Well, I want to simulate a working phone and make it snappy. Come on.
Yeah. The Apple device, you don't have to simulate turning
Yeah.
on.
Usually, this is not good. I think there's something's dropping the ball here. All right, I'm going to restart my my Arctic Fox because I bet this is some leftover problem, new problem from Arctic Fox that I didn't stumble over. All right, let me restart the IDE. I'm going to quit Android Studio.
So why did you have to install an Arctic Fox in the first place?
Remember, I asked the
wasn't
guy
your
who
old?
only works in Android all the time. I said, "Well, what? It keeps bothering me to update." Yeah, David's go doing the usual like manager approach, like, "Well, wasn't broke. Why did you try to fix it?" I'm going like, "Well, remember, we work in IT, and we're always keeping things up to date because we don't want bugs." And it had these words, David. It was beautiful. It said, "Performance improvements." And well, I'm sold. I'm going to install that.
That's just developer
I know.
candy,
It's like, well, I
isn't it?
want that. I want my stuff to work faster. And hang on a second. Okay, I think it's done. Let me open it again and get it launched. So yeah, so far I haven't seen the performance improvements, but maybe they're there. Maybe shave some time off of those.
It didn't mean performance of you. It meant performance of the something else. Oh, look, right
fox.
there. It had this nice little Arctic fox on the launch screen, and it performed really well.
I still have trouble believing that using Gradle for building unit tests is helping that situation. I know it makes the, whoops, I don't need to read these now. I know it makes the DevOps people happy because you can get your CI system running pretty easily if everybody's using the same build system. That makes sense, but I want the ultimate fast performance for things I do a lot of, and running unit tests is something I do a lot of. All right, let's try it again. Daemon started successfully. Everything looks happy. All right, let's go. And by the way, this wasn't like the first day Arctic Fox showed up. I think it's been hanging out there bothering me for at least a couple of weeks. So it isn't like, if we thought that it was a cutting edge release where you're going to bleed, it shouldn't have been. I mean, it's a full release. It wasn't a, what do they call it?
Beta release.
What are those trial releases? Apple does them as well. They're early release or something. I think everything crashed, by the way. Oh, okay. Gradle finished. Build running. That was weird. It was switch screens. I saw the simulator pop up, and then it went away.
Okay, Gradle build.
Come on, baby.
Running.
We got some TDD I want to do here. What are we going to name this episode? Well, we already named it. The name of this, by the way, Arctic Fox, the name of this episode wasn't Get My Simulator Working.
It wasn't see if Arctic Fox can jump.
Right, so build finished, but where's my, why is it telling me about that? I don't care about the, well, I do care about the build. So I've got the app context set, and I've got a phone device picked out.
Okay.
And I hit this button again, starting AVD. Android.
AVD.
Okay.
Do you know what an AVD is? Android Virtual Device.
Sounds good.
How about that for, yeah. And there we have on the screen an Android virtual device that's power switch has not been turned on.
I mean, I'm just, I agree. It doesn't, you're right. There's no power on that device. And I'm looking at it, it says waiting for all target devices to come online. So do you think that, oh, look, something's happening, David.
What's happening?
AVD is happy. It's starting to happen.
Okay. It's doing a boot process, isn't it? That AVD is now booting.
And folks, today we're using Pop again. So we're excited to try out some our pairing because you know what? I just left I hit the sad face on Pop, and then it drops you into an area to give feedback or even a bug report type setup. It's a really cool, not that any of us love doing bug report type things, but it's a really cool, drops you into it, search engine. It's kind of like Stack Overflow does, where you start typing in your concern and it'll come back maybe with some other articles or knowledge base. Thank you.
Yeah.
And so I listened feedback, talked about what part of the show we had some problems, and they true to their nature, they watched the video with put in the timings of where the problems showed up, and they said they watch it. They said we think we got it fixed already. Try out the next version. So we want to try out the next version. So thanks, Pop, for the great customer support. I have to say, David, have you ever gotten an invitation to meet somebody from customer support before?
An invitation?
Yeah, like they send you a response. Okay, so I've filed bug reports before in my life. I don't know if you have. Have you? Number one, have you ever gotten responses back from anyone? Let's start with that. Of any kind.
Yeah.
I have two. So
Yeah.
tell me, have you ever gotten a invitation to meet over a video conference?
No, that might be
Yeah.
pushing it.
Well, that's what
Yeah.
happened. Is he sent me a Calendly link, and I
Calendar
picked a
invite
time,
to-
and we chatted. So it was really cool.
Yeah. All right. Good customer support
Yeah.
there, Pop.
So we have ourselves a device that looks off again. Now, that's not cool.
Did somebody click on
I
the
did
button?
not click on anything. And it says launch succeeded. Okay, that's good. Maybe if I scroll back to this window. That does not look like a launch succeeded
Okay.
to me, folks. Okay. So this could be because this is the first time the device got launched on a new install. Maybe we have to wait a little more, but I feel like we've waited a long time.
And your CPU is kind of maxed out.
What's it doing? It's doing we have our usual streaming stuff, and we have Android, and I don't know if we can ever see the simulator. Oh, look, it's coming, David. It is a patient's.
It's come back to
Oh
life.
my goodness. Holy smokes.
It's just taking.
I hope that wasn't the performance improvement. I hope that was just like, hey, this is a fresh install. Nothing's been executed on this machine before. There's a bunch of caching that happened. And so the next time we hit play, it's going to be like at least as fast as last time. Holy cow.
It's going to be instant.
I am learning a lot. Upgrading my
Okay.
IDE. All right. So I think I was going to demonstrate what we have. Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, you were. Yeah, like an hour ago.
Right, here we go. Yeah, folks, this is why not everybody is a software developer. It takes a hell of a lot of patience and determination.
Yeah.
1,
So you're going to type in.
2.
Oh.
I'm typing on my hardware keyboard.
Awesome.
3. Boom.
3 and
And
a
a dash.
dash. Awesome.
But we had it doing that before.
Okay. Yeah, that we had a test that proved that we could do that. Now type in 4 and 5
This part's not
and
implemented.
6. And see, there should be a dash between 5 and 6.
Oh, David, you're so picky.
No, I'm just very precise.
So we can work on that story today, or let me just show you, and I believe this didn't work by the time we got done with our last session, not you and me, but the other fellow. So if I delete the dash, something's going to happen. Not quite, but something. Okay.
You got a 2 dash.
It deleted our 3, and we got a dash written over our 3. So it's possible that's happening because of. I mean, we have two branches in that code now. they may not be agreeing with each other. So now, big step back, David. We have copy paste cop. We have kind of a bug, and then we have new functionality to go further to the right. It's okay. It's all on the table. What would you like to do today? What's your pleasure?
Oh, you have a line of reasoning already in your head, so, and it was kind of like, you were trying to obviously get the delete to work right.
All right.
Let's keep with that line
All right,
of
let's check out
reasoning.
our unit test for that baby. All right, we have the doesn't call text an infinite number of times. That was the text API thing. That's the why it's going to ignore. That's our API-ish test. We had to learn about delete. I don't know if this is you and me, David. Oh, this is probably my other partner. Yeah, we had to learn how delete works. So this is the editable. So spannable string builder, just FYI, is editable. And so we created a string, and we were practicing delete because we had a lot of trouble with delete, to be frank. It was a lot harder. So
Okay.
0th position, 2nd position, 3rd position. If you're deleting the 3, it's got to go 0, 1, 2. And then for some reason you put comma 3 even though there's no 3rd thing. It's a little weird to me, but unless that API doesn't really mean by index ID. Let me hover on that a second. I'm glad this test is still in here, by the way, because this is like the primer to getting into the delete. Is like, do you know how to delete with the edit?
Yeah, I would have not known how to delete.
So there it is. It does a delete at the start and in the end. So
Start and
let's
end.
jazz with this a little bit. Like I want to delete something else. I want to go to this thing, and I'm going to make another. I'm just annoyed at this API because I don't think it's right to put 2,3 when you know there's no third element. That's just me though. I mean, so what if I just put in one number, right? And I wanted to delete it. Okay. Come on. Help me out here. Well, apparently it was going to do the wrong thing. Oh, David.
So text box dot.
You do the honors, man. That's why we have pop.
Oh well, okay.
See if you can delete one. And we're gonna.
I just typed and nothing came up.
Did you
on the
slide it over
screen.
to drive mode, or either that, or you're gonna.
That's the one on your screen. Do you see me
I saw you
moving
move a mouse.
around a text
I
box?
saw a mouse, and now I
Okay.
don't know where it is.
Okay.
I wonder
so,
where the mouse is. Though.
All right. I'm trying
I see.
to.
What?
It looks
There you-
like I have. Oh, it looks like I have the drawing.
I was sitting there cleaning that off my screen because I go, what did I get on my screen? But it was you drawing. The little first dot there looked like, what is there? What is on my screen?
Okay, I've selected the start draw. Oh, it says start drawing. Which
It's
one?
a slider, right?
do
So you
you
move it to
sel-
the left-hand side for the.
And the left-hand side
Left.
then is control the
Yeah,
screen.
yeah.
Oh, that's got me.
I know it's that
Okay,
that
that's
contextual. Yeah, I don't. It's like a mute button, and when you
Yeah.
tap it, the question is: are you muting it or are you unmuting it? It's a little bit.
Well, okay, get your good tech support person on the line because I can't type.
Still? Okay, here, let's look at, well, like, there still could be some potential cockpit error. Okay, what is happening here? Let's go to pop. I'm going to go to pop and say, there's David. And there's drawing mode, and then there's it. So you're in this one, right?
Well,
Oh.
now I have the other one.
You should see the pointy, pokey icon.
Yeah, no. When I did that one, I could draw on the screen.
Oh, you're doing it now, baby.
And
Right,
now
let me put
it's-
that away.
All right. Now it's working completely fine. But that took some expert, yeah.
It's still going to
Don't
be
know
software.
what's
It's
going
still
on
it's
there.
not going to be as easy as, I don't know what's easy around here nowadays. I would say like pick up a phone,
button.
except if you're talking about an Android device, that might not be so easy.
Is it on or off? So you really think I can do start one and it has to have an end integer. And so what's that going to delete? Is that what you're wanting to find out?
Yeah, and my theory, you might want to write an assertion after that, but my belief is what you've done won't work. But I'm not being judgmental. I don't like what I think the Android API is telling me about. I have a hang up with that boundary condition. And I have confusion about what they mean by those start and ends. But yeah, I want you to do it naturalistically and see what happens, and then we'll learn.
So I expect to have that in my
Okay, run that test. Let's put that Arctic fox to work. Those are probably endangered species. We're probably like, being insensitive saying words like that.
Arctic fox isn't. I doubt.
I don't know. Anything with snow and cold,
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Till we get our political leaders actually sort of understand what the hell's really going on, that would be nice.
What happened?
Okay, learn to delete. Did it run? Oh, how did you run it? It's giving me the.
I tried to hit the. Button up here.
Yeah.
I thought I hit the right one, but I might have hit the wrong one. But it's giving me.
It didn't. It says test events were not received, which is what happens when you don't have the. That was my initial state of a lot of. That was the. How do I say this? That's what happened when I wasn't playing it the Arctic Fox way, and you shouldn't see that. So try that again, please.
So if I
that
do,
one. Yeah, I don't know what the heck happened, but that looked like that's a bad state of affairs we're headed towards. All right, damn it, we're in a bad state of affairs, David. Let me drive a little bit because this looks like it's rearing its head again. That problem of that I started out with about upgrading to Arctic Fox and not being able to run my bloody unit test. So I have Roboelectric. And I have, maybe I'll end up revising my Stack Overflow article. Test, I'm using the JUnit 4 test. And we ran this before I rebooted the IDE. So let me run it again. It says instantiated, and now it's giving me garbage. Now I'm upset. What is going on here, folks? Is it not compiling? Is that maybe the problem?
well, the first thing, it's not compiling probably because we've got two of the same thing.
Sorry.
So let's comment this. Let's just do the simplest thing that could work and say, that'll work.
Well, you
right?
kind of want a new text box for your test to even have a shot at working. So, I don't know. Give it a new name, stick it with a number on the end, something like that. Or rewrite it. Oh, you can reinitialize it. Just get rid of the val. Okay, the simplest thing. Yeah, just get rid of val. We're going to make a new one. We're going to reassign. Oh, it's a val, so we'll have to make it a var. Sorry. Okay, a couple of things. Val becomes var. I'm going to name my next kid Val, by the way, and I'll have a var as well. One of them will have a very fixed mindset.
I don't think you want to do that, man. Have you seen the new movie about Val Kilmer?
I haven't. I'm excited about that. Is it a downer?
Well, it could be about your kid too.
That's
yeah.
true. That Val.
I mean, it can't be but one Val, right?
Yeah, I think I hope the test works now. I think that was the problem. It wasn't compiled, which is not really a great message to return to people from your test runner when it's not compiling.
Yeah.
See, it's working. Yeah, I don't know, Arctic Fox. I'm a little bit not happy with that. You should have said, whoa, you can't compile this thing. What the heck are you trying to do? Instead of said, oh, I didn't get any tasks. Yeah. All right, cool. It failed. So, yeah, click on the failure, and you should see the reason why it failed.
Click on
over on the left-hand side, pane. Yeah. Expected nothing but was 1, David. You did not delete that editable.
I called delete.
1, bro. What does your array start with? 0 or 1? 0. So you think you need to pick 0. And then it's going to be comma 1. Then you'll be right on the money. But I wanted to see, because it doesn't quite work the way I expected. I was happy to see if, maybe it would work.
If somebody else has the same.
And then
so you're saying that this ought to work.
My money would be on this working. And I'm just annoyed by the 1 on the end, because it just doesn't seem right to talk about an edge of something that doesn't exist. Like, what if I put 0 to 5? Will that work? Let's put 0 to 5. I want to see if I want to see it complain. Because that's just funny. I would say nuts, really, but maybe it's some languages aren't so judgmental. It's like, if they can figure out roughly what you want to do, they'll do it, rather than be like, oh, your boundary.
Hey, that's Python.
Yeah, right,
baby.
exactly.
We're not running Python.
All right, cool. The Kotlin isn't quite that Python-y. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so
I don't know what it's saying.
so you know how to
is
delete,
wrong,
right?
but-
So now you can help me with my.
Well, wait a minute. What's it saying is wrong? Extends beyond length 1. Okay, that's a pretty good message.
I agree. I'm good with that one. I still don't like the API that forces you to say you're going to go from 0. So, okay, I would, if I have to only have 2 arguments and I'm not going to have an overload that just takes 1, I'm going to go 0 to 0. Maybe that doesn't make sense either, but it's a different kind of not making sense, and which I would be, for some reason, works for me.
I don't understand what 0 to 1 is supposed to mean.
Index 0, you're deleting from index 0 to index 1, but there's no index 1. That's why I don't understand.
Yeah, I don't get it. I don't get it. Okay, but you say you understand this.
If you don't understand it, we
this
need to add another
API.
test, David.
Oh no,
I mean, now.
think I understand it. I don't.
I mean, going into this, I don't know who would
don't-
understand it, but
Yeah, I don't. I think I can manipulate the thing to
Yay.
make it work.
okay. So let's go up to that. I'm going to scroll up here now. I think I'm sure we did TD. Deletes the dash. Oh, here it is. On text change, deletes the dash. Should delete character before dash. What do you think?
Okay.
That seem reasonable? And this test passes right now. Now, this test passes, but folks, like we talked about last time, we have to be careful with this because we're only modeling the Android system the way Android system, how we think the Android system works. So, so what we have now, we set up our text box. We make it. This is the user input. This is a text box text. It isn't the real user input yet. We haven't told it. Now we set up watcher, our social security number text watcher. After text change, it's going to set up the. After you type 1, 2, 3, after text change is going to be called, and that's going to capture the editable. And that's the editable. And now on text change, it's going to be called. And at that point, 0, 1, 2, dash. Oh, at that point of 3, the cursor position is 0, 1, 2. So cursor position is 2. That's accurate. Number to replace. We're not replacing anything. And we're adding the 3. So this is the adding a 3 scenario. Okay? So, and then after this is called, it's correct. It did add the dash correctly. Okay? So this is getting us up to the point of having the dash. And then here, user deletes dash. So text box text, we delete 3, 4. 1, 0, 1, 2, 3 is the dash. So 3, 4 should be the dash. That's why we had to go back to that learning test, because this is a basic thing you have to know to figure out what the heck's going on. So we delete the user deletes the dash. We double check ourselves to say, because we weren't confident in our knowledge of the deletion, that's correct. So it did. Now we call the thing the class center test, the watcher. Oh, the problem here might be after text change. Is it going to work? It should work. I guess it's okay. I'm asking myself if the after is in the wrong spot, but I don't think it matters. So on text change is called. And cursor position is 3 because the dash got deleted. So 0, 1, 2, and then, it should be on 2. 0, 1, 2. That might be why my test isn't working. Is that right? Oh, has it deleted it yet or not? No. On text change, it has not deleted it yet. So we'll have, if you question this, this understanding, we have to go look at the simulator output. But I believe it's correct because it's still at the dash. It hasn't done it quite yet. It's going to delete the dash on item 3. Look, it says numbers of characters. It's informing the API that, hey, there's one character to replace. Nothing's being added. Whew.
Okay.
And we expect it to get to 1 to 2. Okay? And this test actually passes, but it's not working correctly in Android. So that means we're probably going to have to go in the debugger and see what we have to fix our understanding because something's not quite working the way we expect it to.
Well,
Okay, test passed.
did you, in this test, did you call delete?
So this is where the user on the phone clicked the backspace, and that deletes the dash, as demonstrated
okay.
by this. Double checks
Okay.
it for us. Uh-oh.
Yeah, but you've got to delete both the dash and the 3.
Well, I don't do that. The phone does that. The user deletes the dash. The phone deletes the 3. That's the functionality we're trying to get. Maybe we should say that too.
Yeah.
User deletes dash, because the actor is important, I guess. Phone deletes character before dash.
And does it leave the dash
Nope.
in there, or does it take the
I
dash
mean, right now
away?
that's the bug, but it shouldn't be no dash or no number. Now, my other partner who's working on this says when you put the number back, it does just like it did before. You put the number back, and then the dash shows up too. Okay, so for some reason, it works in the unit test and doesn't in the code, and that probably means that we have an imperfect simulation in our unit test. And once we learn where that imperfection lies, we can come back and maybe update the unit test. Okay, so I think we need to look at the code, put in a breakpoint, and then see literally why it's not able to do this. Because, well, hold on. Actually, I got bothered by something. Let me see if that really is a problem. So text box. Now notice I'm asserting that watcher is as social security number 2 string. It's the same thing as text box. That's why that works. Oh boy, that might not be the right. Is that the right thing? I don't know. I'm getting a little bit confused here. So this text box is the editable that we're passing in. And when I call delete, I'm checking to see if that dash is deleted. And I used watcher instead of text box, which are the same thing because it's a reference. Watcher.social security number references is the text box text as well in the unit test. Is that okay? I think so, because the user hit the backspace and deleted the dash. So yeah, that makes sense. As long as you understand that watcher and text box are the same thing, it's all good. I mean, it is. It's demonstrating that, hey, the dash got deleted. Folks, when you find yourself writing a lot of comments in code, that's usually a sign that something's not going well.
Well, why wouldn't you why wouldn't you delete 2 characters, both the 3 and the dash?
Because on the phone, you, David, only get to delete the dash, but the code deletes the 3.
Yeah.
So I did my part as a user. I deleted the dash, and then I called the API that Android's going to call on text change and after text changed. And I passed in what I believe to be the correct parameters, which might not be true. We'll have to run the simulator and confirm that when this is called, cursor position should be 3 because it's 0, 0, 1, 2, 3 is where the dash was. This is where I'm a little bit worried about that being a 3, but I think it's right. And it's saying like, I'm going to replace the dash. But the weird thing is seems like I've already replaced it though. That's what I'm a little bit confused about. All right, so I'm going to admit to being a little confused, and that's usually where bugs happen. So I think we need to put some breakpoints in this production code on text change and watch what happens. What do you think?
I would like to see you run this test and see what happens with this test first. We've tweaked around with it a little bit, haven't we?
Wow, why do I have to do that? Here we are. Yeah, it only takes a second maybe of real time. I swear though, these are like the slowest simple unit tests. 409 milliseconds. 7 seconds. Okay, so it passed, and so the unit test is perfectly happy. It says, hey, everything's working great. Oh, it's interesting. We can see the print out. We still have those print statements in there. We can see it say cursor position on text change is called twice. This one should have the dash, doesn't it? I'm a little puzzled by that.
Yeah.
Cursor position.
We've
1, 2, 3. Oh, and it's going to add the dash. That's why. 0, 1, 2, position 2. Yeah, okay. And it'll add the dash automatically here. You can't see it in the output because it's not called. We're not perfectly simulating Android, and we're just targeting our two functions that need to be called together because there's an interaction between those two functions on text change and after text change. I say let's go. Well, let's see, what does this look like? Does this look right? Let's. So one of the questions is whether this is really a correct model, that you wouldn't see the dash and that cursor position's 3. That one's a little weird to me. So let's go ahead and run the phone simulator, and we'll put a breakpoint in there, I suppose. Actually, I don't want to do the breakpoint yet because that'll slow us down a lot. But we'll probably go there though. I want to just watch it type. I want to type in and see what it says on the output. Okay, what's this do? Run app, apply changes, and restart activity. And in theory, this does a hot swap. I don't know. We'll see. Apply changes succeeded. All right. Oh, interesting. Oh, okay, because I didn't apply changes. It's and I don't want it to do that. All right, can I close it? I'm gonna try to play with the phone here. Now I can throw it away, and then I can go back to home page. Question is, how do I restart it? What's this play button do?
It's a back button.
What is this? It's not going to tell me what it is.
Do you have another page?
I don't think I do.
Do you have a second page?
No recent items. Yeah, I probably have to restart it now. Galleries give me pictures, right?
Yeah. So you ought to have the app loaded on the phone.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. But you and I are biased towards, the thing we're used to. So I guess I got to go back, and I probably mucked it up. So I got to go back and do it this other way. If we make changes and you don't want the app to restart, that's fine. But I want the app to restart because I know the state is going to be incorrect. Launch succeeded. That was really fast. Holy smokes. Did it really launch that fast? Let's go back. Wow. Hey, Arctic Fox. That looks like a performance improvement there. Don't you think so?
It
that
may
was
be.
Pretty bloody fast. All right.
Yeah.
So I'm going to type in 1, and we'll just get you. I got to warm you up to this. So if we go to the, we type in a 1, and remember that you can see Davey, whatever that's about. Before text change, says things. On text change, it says what the new change is, but it doesn't show any of the, there's nothing to print. See, right after this colon, it's still empty.
it's not.
So I'm just trying to make clear that when onTextChange is called, it hasn't made the text change in the editable, but it does show
Okay.
you the position. Oh, okay. So I probably do have a problem there. All right, all right, let's keep going. Okay, so yeah, something's not quite fitting in what I think I'm doing in the unit test. So I'm gonna hit 2. Okay, and so this got the 1. Now a 2 was pressed, and we don't know what it is from this output. We just know there's a character in text edit, and that's the actual character, 1. And then the cursor position is 1 because,
Okay, and then the next line there, you get a 1,
Yeah.
2.
and here's where I think I might have a problem in my unit test, is I don't think I'm using the cursor position right in it. Because on text change, the 2 was pressed, and it's actually in the editable as it goes into here already.
Uh-huh.
And that's not simulating,
And the,
that's not,
and the cursor position
is,
has been updated
well,
to
0, 0, 1.
reflect that.
Yeah, you're right. The difference, though, I think is here, is I don't think I'm doing it right in the unit test. Because I think I need to, I don't want to get too hung up on that yet, but I think it's wrong. Okay, 3, and the dash. Now what happened? Okay, so it tells us before text change, it tells us what that is. On text change, it shows us, hey, there's a 3 coming in, and cursor position is 2, so 0, 1, 2. Yep, that's correct.
Uh-huh.
And while it's okay,
Then,
while it's in on, I just need to express this to you. This is something I learned last time when I was working on it this week. We write to the editor, editable in on, and this kind of blew me away, but I guess it makes sense. Okay. So this line here is adding dash is true. It sets and it appends. As soon as that append happens, David, there's a property watcher. Does that ring with you? Have you heard of? I think they have those in Swift. There's a property watcher that gets triggered immediately. And so that's when the on, so we haven't exited this function. It's going to trigger another asynchronous call to another instance of on text change. See, because we're in, wait a minute, we're in on text change here, 1, 2, 3. But then it goes to a before text change because we did the append. And it says, oh my goodness, look, your cursor position is 3, 0, 1, 2, 3. So it's getting, it's handling the event of the dash. And then it handles it, and then it goes on to on text changed again with the dash. So that's another call to on text change before this one's exited. Now, we kind of knew this somewhat, but at least in my head, I didn't quite have it right. See this adding dash is false? Oh, I think I see the bug now. This keeps us from when it's calling itself, causing another call that's going to call itself. It keeps it from doing another append, which means we'll be in an infinite loop appending forever. So adding dash is true. When it executes this line and then those other asynchronous calls bring it through this function again, it won't come in here because is adding dash equals, is it false? No, it's still true. So, hey, don't bother appending anymore. Now, we stuck another if here to handle deletion, and I suspect that was not, I think we need a guard statement for this whole function for the dash, and I think that will make the bug go away. This is where I get into difficulty of test driving that because assimilating that, I figured it out with last week with the way we did last week, but I don't know. This is going to take some brain power, and I'm I don't know if I have enough brains for that right now. So
Yeah, I'm
going to label that as a potential bug that we need to remember to think about when we're done walking through this. Okay? Because I have a feeling that this is getting called too much. So, okay. So anyways, false is called. It gets done with this dash. On text change finishes here. And then it's going to finish off camera because we don't have a print statement that says I'm leaving this. So it's going to, my God, that's a bad idea for a couple of reasons. I can see a couple of potential bugs. Maybe there should be an else here because after it does the append and does this, it might go into this too. If cursor position is 3, 0, 1, 2, 3, and the number of characters replaced is 1, so that case probably won't be. Is that case true still? Yeah, I think that's our problem. I'm pretty sure this should have been an else if, because we're doing too many operations in this one statement because we didn't guard right. I'm saying that with more confidence than I have, but I'm pretty sure that's the problem. Friggin' not sure how to TDD that. Okay, so. Anyways, I'm gonna hit the backspace and I'm gonna put a breakpoint in here and we're gonna watch it do that nasty thing that it's not supposed to do, which it'll do, I believe.
Okay.
So I'm gonna put a breakpoint there and I'm gonna put a breakpoint on this line. Okay. So if I'm gonna call my shot here, like we're playing pool, when we hit delete, oh. Interesting. I'm not sure I agree with that now. When we hit delete, this will get called. And in fact, I want to probably leave it there. Whatever. And wait, can I call this shot? When we hit the delete button, it's going to delete 3. This will delete the 3. Because it's editing again, it's going to call this function again. And it's going to do something it probably shouldn't because there's no guard statement. And I can't call the shot any more than that. So anyways, I guess I'm going to put one here so I can see when we go in. And all right, I think I'm ready to delete that dash and watch the fun happen. Except I'm probably not running in the debugger. All right, well, we're going to come back and try it later. I'm going to delete it. All right. So now, why did that happen? So since we're not running the debugger, it won't hit our breakpoint, so I'll have to try it again. All right, before text change, 1, 2, 3 dash, cursor positions 3, 0, 1, 2, 3. It's next, because the backspace is hit, the cursor position's 1 less than expected, 0, 1, 2, 3. Oh wait, that's the dash. 0, 1, 2, 3.
1,
this is the dash.
2, 3.
So I guess it's in the right spot. All right. And it says, hey, I'm going to delete something. And then on text change, it deletes the dash. The dash is no longer in our buffer, which is probably because of this line 38, which should call another text change, right? And so that's why it goes to before text change again. It goes 1, 2, 3. Now it's at position 2 because the deletion happens 0, 1, 2, which I guess means to the right of position 2. Number of characters replaced is still 1. Now that is, why is that true? I don't know. Maybe because, I don't know. Oh, because we did a delete. That's why. Probably because we did a delete. And then, where am I at? I got lost. Am I here on text change now? Okay, on text change, it's down to 1, 2, which is correct. And if it did that, we'd be happy, but something else is going to happen here. So on text change, it's going to call this little bit of business. And on text change, right now, says if your cursor position is 2, which this one says it is.
Which it is.
And is adding dash is false, which it should be because we are done adding the dash. Append a dash. Now it does say append, not replace. Oh, and that's what it does. It appends the dash. All right, well, we know perfectly why it's doing that. Okay, that was a long walk to the park. So it looks logical why it's doing it. Now I'm trying to think of what is this. So what is it I wanted to do? What I want it to do is not do this again. Okay, I don't want it to append a dash again. So what signaling do I need? Is it because of the count of characters added? How I need to add something to my if block to keep it from doing that again. Do I need to do a signaling for removing dash? That would be one way. If I ever go into this block, I could set a state and say, hey, I'm removing a dash. Don't, and that way is adding, is removing. It has to be false before it goes in here. That would be one way. It seems weird though. I'm trying to figure out how to use the signals I already have so I don't have to keep adding more signals. Cursor position one, number replace one. Count of characters added. Hey, I'm open to any suggestion. I'm sure
you can't. Yeah, you can't get an atomic change in the system here.
Well, we can, but we have to put all these guard semaphores in, and that's a pain. But we could add another Boolean. But I'm trying to think of, is there another way we could do it other than adding a Boolean? Because well, these are the signals. This is what the API knows: cursor position, and cursor position is equal to 2. That's one of the problems. Number to replace is 0, so we can't use that. Count of characters added. Now maybe that. All right. So would we ever add a dash when count of characters added is equal to 1? If I back up and look at the other things, we could probably figure that out. 1, 2, 3 gets typed. It's going to want to add a character. No, count of characters is. We just added a character on before, and on text change is going to get called here to add the dash, and it's all equal to 1. So I think we added I think we have to add a Boolean now that says, hey, I just deleted the dash. No one in here do anything else because I don't want you to undo what I just did. The dissatisfaction, I'm sure that will work, David, and we can put it in there to test. But TDD in that is, I don't know. What would I have to do to TDD that? I'd have to, it'd have to have a class variable, and then I have to either spy on it or I have to make it visible. You know what I mean? Create the visibility so I could say, when what?
Is deleting dash.
Yeah, is deleting dash. I'd have to check to see if the state has changed. I mean, well, let's just TDD it. I shouldn't act like my clients do sometimes, like, oh, I don't want to change some state so I can make it testable. I hate to do that. So I suppose we should just do it and then try to make it more awesome later. So let's TDD this. So I'm gonna create a new test. Would you like to give this a shot, or shall I? How about
go
this?
ahead.
Because I've been working the code a lot, but how about, can you do the copy paste cop thing? Because I don't want to get in trouble, and then I'll update.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
David's got less points on his driver's license.
I don't have.
He has 0 points.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. All right. I'm going to go down here. And when I do this, does it give me the end function?
No. There you go.
No, it didn't. Okay.
So what are we going to name this?
So on text change, we're going to rename this thing to trying to delete.
Yeah.
And that's all I know for now.
Okay. By the way, I'm going to move my mouse to OBS, and I'm going to click on the window there, and then I want to see if you can drive. Right now you see a slash your cursor, your mouse.
Uh-huh.
So
Host is
So
off
it's
screen.
saying like, hey, you can't do anything. And then when I come back, can you do anything? And can you put
No,
can you put
yeah,
dots
I
in
can't.
there?
It took
Because
a
the weird
while,
thing was
but,
the dots.
I
The dots
put
weren't working. And another meta characters.
dots. I didn't see the dots.
Oh my
but
goodness!
Okay.
You're saying the dots don't work still?
I don't know
Oh,
what dots
period.
you're
The
talking
period.
about. Oh, the period. Does the period work?
Okay, it does. Excellent. Yeah, that bug's been squashed, I'd say. Yeah, folks, that was a little bit of sideline.
Okay.
That pop bug what we had last time does seem to be it's pretty rock solid because every time I scroll off the screen is when unhappy David would like, why can't I type? I can't. Actually, he could type letters, but no periods or meta characters. So it's all good now. That's awesome.
Okay, so we've got.
And that only took 1 week or within days of clicking the frowny face. That's a fast feedback system that they've got over there at Pop, man.
Responsive. Responsive to the user needs. Well, if the users can't type, it's pretty much a showstopper.
So, you know what? Maybe we should get Pop on the show to talk about if they do unit testing, because in order to deliver as fast as what they've done, they need unit tests. Unless we accidentally hit a problem that they knew about for a few months or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay.
Huh. All right. So here we're trying to delete, and in the arrange, let me go back up here and look at this stuff. So we're arranging something.
Yeah, that we don't need to do too much of that. You need to copy like 226 through. I would suggest copying 226 through. Let's go to 234, and then we'll have to fix some code. This is where the copy paste cop will sometimes get me, is I'm copying code and I don't look carefully at everything that I copied over, and then there's something there's a bug in there. So we'll try not to do that. So 252 is correct. Boom, done. The 254 correct as well. 255, 1, 2, 3. So what are we simulating again? We're testing that.
We're trying to delete.
Okay, so we need a dash though, because we're deleting the dash, right? So 255 has to be 1, 2, 3 with a dash. So I might be heading in a direction you're not expecting, David. I'm trying to keep it super simple. I think the other test above us is a little complicated and passes, which is also a problem. Yeah, so and now you do after text watch, call that's okay. And then on text watch, that's the act, because after text watch is still a range, that's arranging. But on text watch is the act, that's the thing we're testing. Now cursor position on 259, that should be 0, 1, 2, dash. So that should be 4.
Not
0,
4.
1, 2,
3.
dash. All right. 0, 1, 2, 3. So sorry, 3. I can't even count with my fingers now. It's getting that bad. Number of characters to replace. So if somebody delete the dash, it should be 1, because they're deleting the dash, and no characters added. All right. Now we need a new assert. So we're saying we're gonna add a signal so we can have a guard statement that says something like is deleting dash. Mm-hmm. So I don't know, make it up, man. Hey, assert equals, you make that API up.
Yeah, well, we might want that, but I don't think that's not what you're
I see what
talking
you're
about
saying.
right
Good
now.
point.
So, and you're expecting me to be able to call into, how do I get my spy or whatever?
So you're building the API. It doesn't exist yet. So you decide what that should be.
Yeah.
So we have an is already.
Dot is what was the other one? Is delete.
Deleting. Oh,
Deleting. Yeah.
dash. So it's progressive tense because we're in the process of doing it. And I think you got to start. You got to put a comma true in there. But let's see what happens. I want to see what happens here. Interesting. Using assert true.
Okay.
Wow, David, you're twisting my brain and it worked. No, it isn't right. Is your actual true or is your actual is deleting dash? Inquiring minds want to know.
It's.
Look at 261. There's your hint.
Yeah, 261 is expected is the first thing. I'm expecting this to be.
Starts with a T.
Know.
You're expecting true, baby. You got to flip those arguments around. Your parameters are backwards.
Are they really?
And I don't know if that's because of Swift, because I can't remember right now, but or you're just backwards today. I don't know if you have an excuse for this one. I really can't remember. It's been months since I've coded in Swift. My God, man.
Swift makes it so that it doesn't matter somehow.
Well, I thought this would do the same thing. That's why I thought maybe it would be okay.
In the way they present their error messages and that sort of thing, it I don't know. I don't know how to say that. There's English words for that.
It's a level of Zen we haven't attained. That's what I think happened. Okay, on the string, what do you expect at the end of that on-text change? Your line 261?
261. Yeah. Okay. I'm expecting this to be 1, 2, 3. No, I actually expect it to be this.
Oh, snap, you're right. Yep. Good job. I think you've done it. You've done it, David. Let's run it. Well, we have to make it compile first, so you might want to go add your. Can you right click over is deleting dash and see if it'll add it for you? Because we got what people like to say, we have a modern IDE. Much better than X.
Oh, a modern IDE is going to have
Where's our generate? I'm not seeing
something in here that. Is it refactor?
It shouldn't be.
It's
it should
not
just
a
be
refactor.
a generate hoo-ha something. Oh,
generate.
Yeah.
There's generate.
Nah. We're going to generate a copyright.
Generate
That's useful.
test.
Come on. I thought this was a developer's tool. This is not a lawyer tool. All right. Well, I'm sort of disappointed.
So I can't
We've
just
done this
generate.
before. Can I try drive for a second? Maybe it's a...
Yeah, you can.
I thought we did this. All right, I'm going to move the mouse. Come on. Whoa. Leggy something here. So if I like... Oh, all right. See the light bulb? You want to hit the light bulb? I don't know why I had to click to get the light bulb. Oh, that didn't help. Damn it. It's angry about your cert equals now. What the heck's going on here? This is not what you want. Yeah, it did not. You did not want to click on that light bulb.
Well, okay. I don't know what just happened, but now it's assert equals 1.
I'm going to undo this. Come on, baby, undo. There we are. All right, now what's going on? Why did our assert equals do this? Assert equals was beautiful. Yes, you did all that beautifully. So why is the light bulb not saying, like, hey, can I generate that code for you? I don't know, man. I give up. I can't make the IDE do what it's supposed to do. Now I got a red light bulb. Better. Okay. So what I did is I had to put the cursor on the red stuff, and then the light bulb changed red, and then I come back and click on that. So apparently it's an extension property, or is it? You know what? It isn't. Okay. This was a good tip. So we're doing the wrong thing here. Because this is not what we want to do, because we got the wrong variable here. No, we have the right variable. No, yes, this is the wrong variable. So what's the code under test, David? Is it the spannable string builder, or is it?
No, we're not testing expandable spring builder. I can't even say that. No, we're testing the SSN text box view
Right.
thing.
Wow. Okay, so I will. Interesting. Future note is that it's better when you drive on the show, because then I could fiddle with the camera without taking away the cursor. So that's actually the best way to do the show. I'm learning. Maybe, yeah. Well, maybe I wonder how we can pull that off. Okay, cool. So yeah, it's the. I don't know if you said the right answer there, because I started getting distracted by trying to zoom in the camera on you. Did you say it's it's the watcher?
Yeah. Well, it's yeah.
Sweet.
Is it the
Yeah.
watcher?
It's the watcher.
I don't know if that's selected there.
No.
So we want a watcher, and you're saying click
Well,
this.
just put the cursor there. I don't know about click might work too, but I'll tell you what I did. Is you click. Okay, now wait. There it is. The red light bulb. Click on the red light bulb. Now you're getting the right stuff. Not that one though.
As constructor parameter.
Boom. All right, it's compiled. Now you can run the test. Oh, it wants us to say something here. What is all?
Really?
Oh, it's a.
How did that thing get
It's
set?
What do you mean? It isn't set. It's an any, which means it doesn't know what type it is.
Yeah, I want it to be a Boolean, and it didn't know that it should
Oh,
be a
that's true. It didn't
Boolean,
infer.
right?
Yeah, put it. You want a var, and you could leave it in any for now, I suppose. It's up to you. Do whatever you wish. Have at it as you will. Oh, you have to think of the. Might have to pick the. Yeah. Cool. Let's see if the test passes.
All right. Now, I have no idea where my test is. Is that my
Yes,
test?
sir.
There we go. Okay. And
Well,
where's the?
something's not happy.
Where's
I think
the,
there's too many closure. There's too much closure up above. 239. Delete that brace. Yeah.
Delete it.
You're closing the class. That closed
Really?
the class when you use that one. Yeah.
Oh, it did.
And then this one's missing one, so now I need to add something there. There we are. Boom.
All right. So now I should be able to click this and run this
Yeah.
test.
I was looking at the time. Our shows are turning into 2-hour shows. I don't know if that's a.
I know.
How many times have we
Wow.
gotten a 1-hour show? Is
And
that?
if-
I guess I got to go look at YouTube.
We've done
Have
a
we?
few.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. We've done a few that were
I wonder.
short and sweet, but normally we get involved in a dialogue with fighting a problem, and it's not just so easy. We don't try anything easy. I don't know why we're not trying something easy. Anyway,
Maybe
I got
next week
some
I'll
easy
upgrade
things on
again.
my-
So- I'll downgrade
And
just to make it like
upgrade-
fun. You know. Hey David,
Yeah, upgrade.
Let's
your
do this in
OS at the same time.
Code Studio or something. We'll use a different IDE completely.
Okay, so I think what happened.
Your test failed,
is
David.
That I
Why did
ran
that test
it.
fail?
It's yellow as
Well, that's a
opposed
good
to
question.
red.
What
I
is
don't know
good with that?
means.
Well, that's just how it rolls.
Yeah, expected true, but was
All right.
false. 'Cause we've never
Can you
changed it.
Yeah. I don't know why it's
So-
orange, but yeah, whatever. It's
Okay. All right. So at least we have a watcher is deleting dash, and now we're going to have to go in and try and update that thing in. Is that in test watcher here?
yeah. No, not in test. Okay. You want to go to the watcher class, which is SSN watcher. Oh, you're in the right spot. You got it. And you just need to go scroll down to on text change. Yeah, there it is. All right, man. How do we signal that we're adding deleting dash? I mean.
Well, right here, I think we need to set both flags.
Why? You're not deleting
Is
there.
Deleting.
You're just adding
Huh?
in that block.
We're in the process of a deletion.
Not that block. That's the other block. The other if statement is the deletion block.
Okay, I see what you mean. I'm delete ing. Come on, give me some help. What's that? Yeah, there we go. Is deleting dash equals true?
Now I would suggest putting it ahead of the the delete call. Otherwise, you'll be infinitely. It sort of depends. It's a bit of a gamble to put it on the after the call. And then how to test drive where you put the delete is.
And then we've
something
got
I
a.
can't figure out. I don't think that's possible.
Ooh. And
Wow.
then we've got to add this constraint,
Well, we haven't
right?
written a test for that, but you've written a test for what you've just added. So let's talk about that in a minute. I mean, let's try to write a test for that if it's possible. Is deleting dash? Why isn't it? What's the problem with the compiler? It doesn't like it. It's 39 is not happy. Oh, what? Is deleting dash equals? Maybe it is happy. I don't understand the red under squiggly. Maybe it's a spelling error. Is that why? I don't think it's. I mean, it's
It might be.
nothing wrong with your spelling, but it's. Why would it?
I did hit completion on it, so.
Let's just run the test. I think your test will pass. And then we have.
Well, it's not compiling. That doesn't that mean that it's not
Oh, maybe
compiled?
there's a red light bulb now. Oh, you didn't. It's still a val. Okay, yep. Do what it says. Change to a var. Okay. Let's see if the test runs.
All right.
Now, if you go down to the test runner on the left-hand side, there's a play button. Over. Yep.
This
Yeah.
play button. It'll replay.
Yeah. So this time that we have to wait for it to compile, I don't think it would have been personally. I think it would have been faster if the IDE built the unit test instead of the Gradle. Okay, what happened here? It failed again. Let's see why it failed. I'm surprised.
Well, it shouldn't. It shouldn't pass. How about that?
Oh,
I don't think it should pass. How do I get back over to the test?
yeah, right there. It didn't pass, like you said. Or you double click on the on text, trying to change. It'll tell you what assert failed. But okay. So assert true passed. Expected true passed.
Uh-huh.
Oh, but we're going to be true forever, David. Oh, my God. How do you TDD asynchronous programming? Oh, it's killing me here, man. Because it's going to be true forever. So, oh, wait. I wrote a test for that before. I think we can do that. Yeah. Okay, yeah, we can fix that. We just need to... It shouldn't be true. Okay. All right, David, here's my pitch to you. Oh boy. So assert equals, you should expect false. But the problem is, it's got to be true for a while and then false after that. So you set it, you're starting to delete it, and then you delete it, and then you set it to false. That's really what the code you want to write. How do we test drive that? That is so micromanagey. I mean, I think you would have to, holy cow. I don't know. I think it's too late on Friday for me to figure that one out, if it is possible. Somehow I did it with the other one, but that was back when we had a little bit different design. But this one, I think you have to just... okay. So the key is that the deletion happens, and while it's deleting, when that delete is called, that the Boolean is set to true. And then at the end of that test execution, it would be false. So we would need to change this test to false. Now, how do we pause in the middle of our product code so that the unit test can say, hey, I know you're trying to delete something. Is the Boolean set to true? How the heck do we do that? Can we look at the code again? I don't know. Okay, so on line 40, when line 40 is executed, that's the span, that's the amount of time. After when it's executing line 40, that we would like somebody to say, oh, by the way, is deleting true? And then leave a signal for our unit test somehow. Well, it literally could be done, but I don't want to do this, is if we made another function that we could override, but I don't want to do that. So let's not do that. So what about SSN number? Can we put a spy on that so when delete is called? Probably.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
I'm making this up. I mean, I've never. This one's a new one on me.
We're trying to catch an asynchronous thing coming around here.
It's not making me happy either. Okay. Yeah.
So we've got multi-threads going on.
We do
right?
outside of our unit test. In our unit test, we're actually single-threaded.
Single-threaded.
But we do have this problem of that piece of code here has to be one state. On line 39, it has to be true, and then we have to add it right after line 40 to be false. And then we have to check and test drive that. How to do that is kind of something, a bit of a headache. So SSN number, the only way I know how to do that is to inject something here that will put a mock object in here. So that's the solution. So how do I inject a mock? Can we do that? For this test, I guess I go back to the test and say, hey, test. First of all, I got to make sure what we're testing. Trying to delete means trying to delete. That isn't quite what we were saying, right? Well, this is just about deleting dash.
In the process of deleting.
Oh, trying to delete a dash? Is that what?
Yeah.
Maybe? Something like that.
Yeah. We're in process. We're testing the process of deleting.
All right, so let me give this a shot, and if it doesn't work, I don't know how to do it. We'll just have to do it the old-fashioned way without a test. Back to the bunny hill. Okay, so first of all, I don't think we need any of this stuff. This is old, bad template. Ooh. And, you know, if we were using our interface, this would be pretty easy because we have our spy already set up for it. But it's okay. We got to let that one go because I don't think the interface is valuable. Now, instead of the interface, now we have to tell it about this text box, and we have to override the behavior of text box. Okay. Oh, this is going to be kind of fun, actually. So before we call, we have another range that's missing. We need to do text box, and we got to override something on text box. So is there a new way to do this in Kotlin? Text box dot, what's it called? Delete. Can I assign into that can I assign a new function? Because it's Kotlin, baby. I want to do some functional programming. Can I reassign this? I might we might be stepping into something that might have to be some off-camera research. Oh, wow, change to function invocation. No, I don't want to do that. Add method contract. I don't know what that means. I'm going to click on it. I don't think it's what we want, but I just want to see what it does. I don't know what that is. Okay. So, all right. So that's hard.
I think that's what you wanted.
Really?
You wanted, yeah. You're trying to say that delete is going to call a different closure than the closure that it's using.
Yeah. Do you think we can figure that out, or should we let that go? Because I don't want to make it.
I have no idea.
I feel like that's an off-camera research problem. But but I do know how to override classes. So let's try it up here. Spannable string builder. Oh God, syntax here. Something like this. I have to find something. Override fun. Oh, there it is. We have to have some override fun. What else do we have up here? Syntax. It's a colon, text interface, blah, 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 blah. Okay. So it's equal to, I don't know. I'm not sure. So delete.
Delete.
And that's 2 integers. Should help me with that. Didn't help me with that.
Capital I,
okay.
integer.
Type mismatch, character sequence.
You're Javafying it. You need start colon int.
Oh, backwards. Fast backwards here.
Yeah. Start colon int type end colon int.
Okay, so that's roughly what I want to do, but I'm sure the syntax is still wrong. Okay, how do let me scroll up to this one. So in this case, we did equals an object that happens to be a text interface. So I can type that again. Seems like a lot of verbosity, but whatever. Okay. Now it probably, does it return something? Return type is unit, which is not a sub blah, blah, blah. Okay, public function delete returns what? Spannable, returns another string builder. Oh, okay. Oh, really? Interesting. Okay, change return type to spannable string builder. Let's do it. And we're not actually going to use what it returns, though I can return a null because it's optional. Enter. Now we have a spy. So where's this going to get me? So I have control, but I don't know where that state is. The state is not in this object though, so this might have gotten me nowhere. So I have something in here, but I can't get to the state. It's not going to work, man. Because I don't have any way to get to the state of my superclass, of the class that's calling this. Not superclass, but the class that's calling this. Huh, I think we're painted in the corner here. I think we just got to, unless you got an idea, I feel like we have to slug it out back to the bunny slope and not have a unit test for that function we're adding.
I'm fine with not having a unit test for it right now because I'm kind of.
Well, yeah,
I think I know what we're trying to do
it
here.
won't work though. I need access to that Boolean, and it's in a different.
Yeah.
It's outside of the scope of this function. It's outside the scope of this class. If I could communicate to this object the Boolean, then I could. But how the snap would I do that? I don't know. So that's where I'm at. I don't know how to do it. Okay. All right.
Okay. 246, I don't think you want anymore. Oh,
Did I do something?
you got an object in there which we didn't have before, right?
I guess it doesn't matter.
246.
But yeah, good point though. Why have it there?
Yeah.
Okay, I think we're ready. We're just going to have to put the code in there that does the delete, but this test can't say true. It's got to be false. And we can't actually check if it changed the state from true to false. Well, all right, we could do a cheat on that. Now that's something we can do. If we can go, I don't like it, but anyways, like I said, it's a cheat. So, oh my God, we could put a counter in here. If we could put an observer on this Boolean, I wonder if there's a way to do that. Because now we're talking about remember in Swift they call it observable properties? Is that what it is? Yeah. If we could have an event happen every time that one thing is called, then we could check and see what was changed. But it's too late. I don't have enough juice in the day. Do you, David?
No,
Yeah,
I don't.
either.
I don't even have enough juice to finish this. But
Let's try here. I think this is correct, but we're going to end up having to fall back to a manual test. Oops, don't go to OBS. I don't want to go there.
All right, so
Run
we put in
the test?
the is deleting dash.
Oh,
Now in the
wait.
test.
We got to
Okay.
add this other thing because I said if we don't do this, this will be bad, and we're not test driving. False. Okay. Oops. And let's wave a right white flag here. Couldn't TDD the below. How to test is deleting dash is working. Just leave it at that. Question.
But don't we need to use the is deleting in an if statement sometime?
Yeah, we do. So this was, I'm trying to like go to different levels of hell now. So this should make the test pass. And then we need to go talk about
Okay.
fixing the actual functionality that enables.
Okay.
And I don't know if we can TDD that one at all either. But I don't want to be too dismissive. So let me run this. And I don't know if our test is right, but hang on a second. Let's look at our test. So we expect it to be false, and we expect it to be 12. I think all that's correct. 1, 2, yeah, because the 3 got deleted. Run that. Wow.
And last time we ran this, we got a 1, 2 dash because we didn't delete the.
Oops. I don't know what all that stuff means. Okay. Expected 1, 2 with nothing, but had a dash still. All right, and that's happening because maybe, is that what we expected? Hang on. We expected to, let's see, delete the dash, and it didn't delete the dash. Oh, we're expected to delete the 2 as well, but it's got to call it twice. Yeah. Right? All right, when you delete the dash, is it deleting 2 things or 1 thing? We're just deleting the dash, which is probably not the right thing. We should delete 2 things. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You do the honors, man. Get back in there and drive. Go right out.
I'm trying to figure out where you were.
Yeah, you're right on 42. I think you got to delete more than 2 comma 3.
Yeah, I think you want to delete 1 comma
Yeah,
3.
yeah,
Is
yeah.
that right?
That deletes the last 2 things.
Okay. And
Interesting.
can I hit the play button over here? And is that yellow? Is that telling me?
Expected 1, 2, but was 1 dash. Oh, funny. How did that happen?
Okay, oh my
Cursor position
goodness.
3, you're deleting from 0. You got 3 numbers in a dash. 1, 2, 3 plus a dash, right? Let me look at the test. Let's try to wrap this baby up. 1, 2, 3. Boom, boom, boom. Right there. All right. So 0, 1, 2, and the dash. So we call on text change. Number of characters replaces 1. So it's going to delete 1 dash, but it's also going to delete the other number too. So it should delete dash and 3. And it didn't do that. Why didn't it not do that? So it goes in this function. What is the initial state? It's not going to go here because cursor position's at 3. So it goes right here. Number of characters replaces 1, but we're really going to delete 2. Is deleting dashes true? Yes. Social security number, delete 0, 1. Oh, that is too far. Okay, that's supposed to be 2. 0, 1, because right now we have this many, 0, 1, 2, 3. So it should have deleted both of them. Okay, so 2, 3 should have been the right answer, but it didn't work, so something's not right. Because we had 2, 3 there before.
Yeah.
And what was it doing? Come on, baby. One, 2. It deletes a 3, but not the dash. We have to go back to our learning test, David. We don't know how to delete again. How is this so hard? I don't know what to complain about. I just can't believe deleting in a string is this hard. Okay, where's our delete string learning test? We have a learning test in here somewhere. There it is, learn delete. All right, so the scenario is 1, 2, 3 dash. And we delete 2, 3, which we can see can't be right because I just added the dash, right? So I think I've learned what I need to learn. We have to go 2, 4. So let's demonstrate. 2, 4. Okay. I'm going to delete all this because I don't think we need it now. And what do you think? Is it going to work?
I have no
Call the
idea.
shot, David. I'm going to say it's going to work. Otherwise, why did I write that silly thing? Good Lord. All right, there it is. That worked. All right, cool. So we just got to delete a little more. It's that boundary condition. It's got to be more than the end, which blows me away because I'm so trained to think about don't take your index beyond the end, David. It goes over the edge of the world, and there's dragons down there, and they will eat you. It's like, holy smokes. But Kotlin says, go pick an extra element beyond the end. I'm going like, oh my God. Well, like 30 years of development practices just gone out the window there. Okay, well, I did not need to go here. So back to the code. We're going to make this code work, and I can't find the code. Watcher. Yeah, that's this one. Okay. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm punchy too. All right. So this has got to be 2, 4. And if we didn't have a unit test, we would have spent a whole bunch more time starting the simulator, trying it out, and then finding out the bug was still there. So even though it looks like we're spending a lot of time getting our unit test to pass, we're trying to get the code right and in a faster way. So there we did. Learn, well, that's the learn delete. That isn't what we care about. We want to run this whole shlemiel, which I don't know how to do easily.
We probably ought to run all of them, but yeah.
We just changed like something in the middle of the code. We probably ought to see if there's any other nasties.
Yeah.
I never like to, there we are. On text change, something failed. User deletes that might be the other test that we were working on. Phone deletes character for, okay, cool. So that one, we've been ignoring that test for a while. And I'm going to actually make it official for now because we got to wrap up. So before we leave the show, I would like to see what happens when we run it in the simulator. Is that fair? Okay.
Yeah. I think that's a good real test.
And I'm going to run the unit test again. We shouldn't see. What the heck is this? So this I don't like either. That little highlighter you can't really see well. Oh, I guess they all passed. Tests ignored, 1. Pass 0. I do not like this. I shouldn't have to scroll around to run a bloody test. I should be able to quickly run, and it says Control-Shift F10. Okay, fine. I can do that next time. But it's running the same one test. Oh, it ran them all now. Okay. That UI is confusing because it looks like it's only running one test.
Okay.
All right. You can see our code debt is increasing. We got more ignored tests. But anyways, let's run it and see what happens.
All right. Run it in the simulator.
Yeah.
Run the actual simulator.
Don't be too disappointed if it doesn't work yet. Something's going to work differently. Oh, we didn't put it in the... Okay, David, we didn't put in the and for the if. So let's go ahead and hit stop. Let's put it in there. We're not going to TDD it, but we're going to take it out before we stop the show, okay? Right? What we're doing is we're checking to see if what we expect will happen will actually solve the problem. Because I don't want to give up on TDDing this until I've put like proper can't do it, thought into it. Dash. But keep me honest. I want to delete this code before we get off the show. Okay. And it is not...
Oh, wait a minute. You can't mix and match these explicits and non-explicits.
True enough. So
that was ugly.
There we are. All right. Is deleting and is adding. Okay. Is that right? We think this is the right thing, correct? All right.
We think so.
And then this code we're going to remove because I want to think about trying to TDD that later. We'll put a comment in or something, but... You have to really like doing a software. You have to really like software development to do a show on Friday late and do some coding. I think that's a true test.
Yeah.
Of insanity, but it's a test.
Yeah.
Hey, did you watch any more videos from the psychopath? Oh, the launch succeeded already.
Did I? No, I didn't. Her picture came up and I was kind of scared of her, so I clicked somewhere else. I've been watching rocket videos.
Whose rocket videos are you watching?
Hi, I'm Steve Manley. You know that guy?
Koala. My son might know him.
He should be pretty famous. Steve Manley is I don't even know what his channel is called. He's the rocket guy. He does all the
All right, I'm typing.
And,
sorry.
And the other guy.
Do you want to type or shall I type? All right.
Go ahead.
1, 2, 3, dash. There's a dash there. I'm going to hit the delete button.
Excellent.
Here's the big moment of truth. Oh, we have an infinite recursion, I think. Our app crashed, bro.
Oh, my goodness.
I'm guessing.
That was an infinite crash?
I guess.
infinite recursion.
That was
causing
damn
a
fast
crash,
crashing.
huh?
I think, you know what? There might be something to Arctic Fox because it's launching that simulator really fast. Here,
It is quite.
I'm hitting play again just to demonstrate the fastness. Look, it's all launched. Seriously?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, I'm going to take back some of the bad thoughts I was having about Arctic Fox. That is actually
It is way more
way
performant.
more. It's actually faster than our unit test launch because, and they moved it to Gradle, which is not going to help. I'm telling you, man, that slowed it down. This is not the right way to go. All right, we can watch it crash again. I'm going to hit backspace. Here it goes. Boom. Yeah, I notice it keeps stopping. That's a sad thing. Oh well. Anyways, so we probably have infinite. Oh, here we can actually look at this, and it will say. Oh, wow, what's all this? Shutting down VM. Yeah. You ever like seeing those messages like shutting down VM? It looks like panicky. It's like, oh my God! It's like the warp core of the Enterprise. They got to shoot it out before the place blows up. Exception, dispatching finish signal, handle. I'm trying to decide if it's, index out of bounds.
Oh, it did not like your 4 idea.
I don't believe it. I just don't believe it. Is it because the dash was already deleted? Because it might be true. So it says beyond the length of 3.
I don't know.
Oh, interesting. So cursor position is at 3. And that's where the 0, 1, 2, 3. So 1, 2, 3 dash. 0, 1, 2, 3. So that's cursor position. That makes sense. It's at the dash right by side there. And then we delete from 2 to 4. But that's how you get rid of the end part. So, but maybe the dash, we're in the event of on text edit. So has the dash already been deleted by the phone? But, all right.
You can't have I don't know.
All right, I'm going to screw everything up.
I'm thinking we need to run 2, 3, and then 1, 2. Delete 1, 2.
I don't know. You mean change this to 1, 2?
No. Add an additional.
All right, I'm doing some bad stuff here. I'm just going to try to go for a Hail Mary here. Whoa. Oh, there it is. Get the point there. Okay. It worked. So the dash is being deleted by the phone before it gets there, is my read of that, because it did the right thing now. Our unit test won't be happy because it doesn't know that the phone's deleting the dash before it gets to on text edit. That's my read. I mean, that's the story I have in my head. So,
unit tests are supposed to take some of this guesswork about what's really happening from some of this guesswork about how the APIs work. And I have more questions about how the APIs work with the unit test involved. Yeah,
I'm not denying any of that. That's so the crazy thing is we're unit testing something that's only a little bit of our code and a lot of Android code, and we're taking guesses on how Android code's using it. And on one hand, that's horrifying. On the other hand, we have to really understand the Android code pretty well to get the code to work no matter what. So the question is the unit testing, everyone always worries, those unit tests are slowing us down. Well, it turns out, I think we're slowing us down without the unit test anyhow, and the unit tests do add a tiny bit, but I don't know, I think the value that they provide for that tiny bit is we're at least recording our steps in the unit test. Like right now, our steps aren't right. And if we record our steps in unit test, that means a year later, if somebody comes in this crazy code and says, hey, I want to do something different. I don't know what it would be. Right. Then they're going to have at least some unit tests to say, to beat them up a little bit and say, no, that won't work.
I need an asterisk in there. So,
Right, right,
yeah.
right. Or the population growth, maybe they need to add another digit on Social Security numbers.
That's right. There you go. I was thinking
See
ahead.
here.
Okay, well,
All right, we have to fix this later then.
So-
This test we'll leave this failing
So
test.
you-
Okay, so 2 notes. We're going to leave a test that's failing. Go fix. Okay, because we got the code right
Okay.
for the phone, but we got to, I'm sure I'll demonstrate that this test will fail because we changed the range. And I think I know the fix, but I'd do a probably slapdash job right now to make it pass, and I probably ought to just let it go for now. Because I think I have to delete the dash here to properly simulate this situation. Because that API isn't called when the dash is in there. We can actually prove that too by putting a print statement ahead of time and saying, well, what's in here before when this is called? Yeah. So that one failed.
did I just hear
I know.
Lance say, let's use
It's
a
so
print
not like me,
statement?
but I have to figure out what Android's doing, and I won't know unless something tells me.
Yeah.
We could add it, if we could get the Mac to do the voice, like, Android's doing 1, 2, 3. That would be a cool, that would actually be helpful. A sneaky way of not putting print statements in, I'll put in voice out statements or something. So that test is failing. We'll look at that next time. And we do know, and I don't know if we were going to, I said I was going to take out that code that actually makes everything work, where it is. This is where you know we're true TDers. Before we give up on doing TDD here, we have to figure out how to do this with TDD. Or think about it, at least attempt it, man.
Okay.
Okay, and I'll put a note here saying why we did that. Need to TDD the dollars is deleting dash. All right, so I don't know how we're going to see that next time, but there we'll put a big, that'll help.
That'll help. Yep.
And we'll see a bug again, and we'll go,
Good job.
hey, I thought we had this working, and we go, yeah, I thought we did. That's why.
Yeah, we had it all working. Ship it.
All right, David, Bear's calling me and dinner, so shall we X out?
It's
Yeah.
been fun.